Hello, YouTube. Here's the finished knife from Sunday in the shop I was working on. It's not razor sharp, but boy, it's nice. I took it in the house and I used it to put peanut butter on crackers. I've cut up Spam, chop it up in small little bitty pieces, put in my eggs. I like fried Spam and eggs. I'll chop it up in little bitty pieces. Well, we want to take one of these apart. Here's what we did. We chewed around there until we got a hold of the nail. See it in here? With the vice grips. And now we're using it like a slide hammer. We're sliding, see, we're holding it here and we're slamming this up and down to get it off there. So let's get it apart. Because we might want to make a knife and put a different handle on it. We just want to see how it's made. I mean, I can always put epoxy there because if I do this handle, it's going to be painted. One of these handles is fatter than the other one. I might even customize it and flatten it down or something. Who knows what I'll do to it. But let's get it apart the rest of the way. See what it looks like. Okay, what a surprise. See that line right here? This has a hole in there that goes that deep. And it's over a quarter inch. So you can make something else out of this handle. You know, they probably make different tools. They use the same handle. And if you look at this, you can see where the notch is. This blade's a little bit thinner on one edge. So you can put it exactly back in there. But I just went back there and hold it on the pin. See? The little nail. Now we can work on the blade better. This is advertised as high carbon tool steel. What I can see when I look them up on the interweb. It is good steel. It'll throw them nice sparks. Oh, I started sanding this with my work sharpener. Y'all remember that machine with the little mini belts on it? But you might even remember when I fixed that broken pulley with epoxy, okay? It's got the belt on it. I think you know what I mean. Work sharpener. It's no good unless you're sharpening garden tools. Don't put a good knife in there, but I beat and abused that thing so bad. The roller broke. So you got the motor, right? And you got the thing up here for the belt. And then you got a roller wheel. Well, I broke that and epoxied it. Well, I started using it this morning. It's been laying around for a year. It just exploded the pulley and locked it up. And I thought the motor burned up. Because all of a sudden the belt started spinning and smoking. And, it's junk. I might try to make another tool out of that thing. I don't recommend anybody buying one. I usually don't do that with a product. But it was junk when I first bought it. And the motor squealed. I kept oiling it. And I know it's because it's a cheap motor with a brass bushing, not a bearing. So it'd squeal when it was cold. I'm not recommending it. I've even said it in videos. But hey, if you want to have fun using it until it burns up, or put it to the use I did for a year, so you can't complain there. Just don't put a good knife in it. They're great for shop use. They're a little mini belt sander, but don't abuse it. I've used mine. I probably could be my fault, and I just broke it and messed it up. And enough of that. I usually at least do something while I'm rambling on. We're gonna try to smooth this down a bit. This was better than the other blade as far as shaped, but this had more pits in it, so I always preach that X pattern. And if you look at my good one, it's pretty good. If you look down this one, can you see the honing X pattern? And if you look up here at the tip of the blade, look where it looks shiny different. I had to really thin that blade out because remember, I showed you it was wedge-shaped flat grind. And this is not a true flat grind anymore because I use a sanding drum and it actually dishes in towards the bottom. So I was not going to thin the whole blade. I thinned the bottom half so I can come down with a little micro razor edge. I think you know what I mean. Enough on that. Both are the same. See how it's whiter? So it's like a chef's knife. It's like one of the best blades you can have in the kitchen. I mean, it's flat grind, razor sharp carbon steel. I mean, oh, I had fun playing with it in the house. I may take it back in there and use it in the house. It depends on what tool I can make out of this. Shorten the blade, and if I shorten the blade, I'll save a piece of metal for another tool. So we'll be back when we decide what we do with it. Will this be, you can do this, we'll at least come back when we got the blade restored, okay? And then that'll be a good enough video for today on it. So stay tuned. Well, we've got it pretty good. We've taken it with the sanding drum. You gotta be careful, them things skip and bounce, and they make little potholes in your metal, like it's like a bumpy gravel road. We took our cheap 150 and 240 sandpaper. This is the right side. I think it is. Yes, it is. And we made it a little bit better. Let's get back to it. It's still going to be bumpy. You'd be here a long time, and you're not going to file this steel. I already brought a file in to see. So, this may be a Tanto blade. It's so thin you can't tell where the edge is. Oh, here's the back. Let's find out what. I did put a slight bevel with the sanding drum because I kept snagging the edge. What a Tanto blade is, this'll work. See, use that as a pointer. Tanto blade is, don't go this way. Here's the sharp edge. Go this way, okay. Then sharpen this edge so you can cut something like this at an angle. I think you know what I mean. You can cut off stuff, small stuff. So we're thinking whether we're going to shorten this blade up or not. I hate to. It's such a nice piece of steel. I mean, it really is. It might sound like a table knife, but it sounds like a quality one when it hits the kitchen table. I keep forgetting that. This is my 50s table. There, if you can hear the sound of it. It's a work tool. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not going to polish it. But you can tell the different roughness there. And then when you finally get down to some fine, but see all the little dark spots are rust pits. Yeah, I'm not taking it down that far. I go backward or turn any pits and I can polish that. I mean, it look like shiny chrome, but no. You see them all? This one was worse. There's a lot of rust pits in there. You're not gonna get them out. It's not a mirror finish reflective, but I do like working on this table. Sometimes it gets a little bright on my eyes, but I can always lay something down. Now, I haven't had much dust. I had dust this morning when I used the belt grinder to get the rust off. But as far as the metal of grinding with this stuff, hand sanding, and I'll keep a little wet thing here with my Simple Green, which I need to refill. And I keep this mopped off. So, it's always nice and clean work area. But I moved some of the junk out of the way. Got a candle going just for what? The ambiance. I think I showed these, $1 a piece. Because you're going to need candles when you work on models. You're always going to need a hot knife. Or when I heat up my pokey tools. Like that. So, I've been adding candle to this. As this burns down, I've been adding one of my, because this is just a plain scented. These were $1 a piece and a little $2 for the package. See, you got a shot glass when you're done. See, if you're a poor college kid, poor college, you're just plain poor. Like white trash or redneck, got one of the candles down there in a shot glass. Well, duh. I mean, you gonna complain if somebody filled that up full of booze for you? I don't think so. I'm not a drinker, but I'm sure not gonna complain. If you filled that full of my favorite soda, I'm not gonna complain. That's a mouthful. You know, that doesn't really get warm at all. Anyway, back to work. These videos get too long, but I'm telling you, in the wintertime, I get cabin view. You get trapped in with these walls. Don't start staring at these walls too long. Don't sit back in the chair and stare at these. I can see figures in there. I'll show on a Sunday in the Shop video someday. That's the sunlight shining through the shop windows, coming through the styrofoam. You can almost tell what time of day it is. My watch is on, so I can't really tell you, but it's like about 12:30 in the afternoon. That's the south wall. If you've seen pictures of my shop, I've got 2 windows. So you get that added extra. Let's get back to work. Well, I say this is better. I got smart. Remembered I had this paper, the 150 Hercules and the Hercules. Remember what movie that's from? Hercules. We get that to go there. Hercules. Hercules. 150 and 220. Forgot I had it. Can you believe that? I still forget I had it. I'm thinking, I need some metal sandpaper. This is that not too cheap of stuff from the HF store. I always say I don't get paid to donate. But it's not super aggressive like you think it is. But it is really good for polishing metal. It really is. By hand, of actually kind of polishing it, I think you would agree. It looks better than before. Oh, I'm going to find something to stick in this hand. I'll put this in my drill. I got to go charge it the battery. I'm going to do some lathing on this. And I showed my Sunday in the shop, I think it was, I lay the drill down on the desk, and I sandpaper, and the sawdust falls right off onto a napkin. So I'm not filling the air full. So, you know, we're in a closed area here. I did do the back of it better so it ain't so sharp. Let me find the thick edge. See how nice and shiny that is. And I got the corners so it's not rough. And I got down here and you could just, like I said, you could just see where I was starting to put a belt. And that's all. The bevel will probably be on this knife, then I'll sharpen it. So I have a microwave like a razor blade. That's some thin metal. It's going to be for hobby use. Okay, back to work again. We're going to charge a battery for my drill. We got to go get something to drink. We're almost out of coffee and hot cocoa, so this is going to take a while. We've been at it probably, what, about two hours or so already working on just this blade and getting it out. But it's fun. It's nice out. It's supposed to snow in a day, so 45 degrees out right now. We're room temperature in here. Believe me, we're not cold, we're not shivering. Don't worry about me being cold today. I am comfortable in here. I want to show you, I think it's I got a pillow here, right? So you lean your gut against the table, and you got your arm. You can lean over here and work comfortably. Plus, it's good on my back to stretch your back muscles out. So I'm actually doing myself some good while I'm sitting in my chair. I about said sitting on my, you know what I mean. Ask me no more questions. Anyway, back to work. Well, what do you think? We're just finally got done. We're out here in a blizzard. There's already 3 inches of snow I had to trudge through when I went to the house an hour ago when the power went out twice. So we was bailing out here. We didn't have no heat, but it came back on. So we're out here toasty warm. That's my 10-toe blade. I wanted this so I didn't have to, you know, if it's not a real long, you're up here trying to, I want to get right down there and cut stuff. So it's like a big old X-Acto knife. This, the only part I don't like about it is I put the clear yellow over here, or the yellow and the red, and it kind of made the purple color in there look a little green color. But it does have a coat of clear, so it's always protected. This is not glued on. I just tapped everything together, so this can come back apart whenever you want to pull it apart. But there's sort of an edge on this part. But, you can tell it's a lot different from this knife. It had a lot bigger blade. You can tell the difference in them. And this one's a little bit longer, I think. But there you go. You can cut like this, which I doubt you would, but I want it kind of like a hobby knife. You know, you're cutting up stuff. And there you go. Kind of wild. That's my turn signal yellow, which is a clear, sparkly for model cars. The red is your taillight red. That's my custom purple I made up last winter. Had some left in the bottle. I made that custom color up. So, there's really no way to twirl this. It's kind of funky. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Look for the couple pictures I took of it, and as I was working on it. So we're out of here. We're going to the house where it's a lot nicer than being out here with a blizzard going on.